I've got an important announcement today for you guys. It's something that I've been holding in for a long time. The truth is, me, Mr. Obvious, I'm actually black. You heard that right. I am a black man. Or at least part of me is. Hello, everyone. In the news, dailymail.com. Look at this headline. Anyone should be allowed to identify as black, regardless of the color of their skin or background, say university leaders. So, we've seen how crazy the left has become in recent years. We've seen how crazy progressivism has become as time has went on. We have people who are black saying they are white. We have people who are white saying they are black. I mean, it's all over the place. People are starting to, because of the false meme of, oh, you can pick your identity, It's this idea in leftism that you can choose what you identify as. Now, this is a fundamentally flawed and intellectually dishonest argument and belief. Let's say that I believe that I'm an orange. Oh yes, I identify as an orange person. Does that mean I'm an orange? What if I identify as a dragon? Does that mean I can breathe fire and I slay knights and I sleep on a pile of gold? No. I'm still human. It doesn't matter what I identify as. But according to the left, you're allowed to pick your race. So my friends, I guess that means that I'm a Native American, black, Asian, demi-human participle. Universities and College Union has set out its stance in an ongoing gender row, as well as gender. UCU, the University Colleges Union, said it also insisted people can choose their own race. British comedian Sacha Baron Cohen came under fire in the US over character Ali G. So, this is what they're saying. Anyone should be allowed to identify as black, regardless of the color of their skin or background. According to left-wing university leaders. Now, you've gone too far. You've completely lost the plot when you actually believe that you can identify as something you're not. The Universities and Colleges Union has set out its stance in a report on the ongoing row about whether men should be able to self-identify as a woman and be treated as female regardless of their anatomy. Now, actually, this is a big problem. There was recent headlines over the simple fact that South Park was making fun of the whole trans athletes. I'm sure you've heard about it before, but it basically goes up like this. Many men out there are trolling. They're trolling female sports. And how do they do this troll? Well, it's simple. They say, well, I identify as a woman. And they don't look like a woman. They don't dress like a woman. They don't even have long hair. They just say, well, I identify as a woman. Basically, so this is part of the troll. And then those who are in charge of women's sports, being woke, being leftist, and being progressive, they have to support the woke movement, right? So they're like, okay, I believe you. And then the men will smash records, will absolutely obliterate records. They'll win the races. They will win. And they'll get scholarships. So these trolls go in the female sports, win the sports, take the scholarships, and ride off into the sunset. And then later on, they're like, oh, I identify as a man again. Because they never identified as women to begin with. And be treated as female regardless of their anatomy. So the UCU's position statement did not just stand by its support for self-identification of gender, but also insisted people can choose their own race, saying, all rules commit us to ending all forms of discrimination, bigotry, and stereotyping. UCU has a long history of enabling members to self-identify, whether that is being black, disabled, LGBT, or women. I didn't know that you could identify as disabled. Hello, government? I identify as disabled. Please give me welfare. I mean, this is the insanity of leftism. You know you're insane when you're so woke, you're so high on wokeness and progressivism that you actually believe such nonsense. You can't. What if I identify as a dinosaur? Am I a dinosaur? Dinosaur rights? Hashtag recognizing self-defined women as fully female is deeply controversial among many feminists and others. Theresa May's government considering changing the law to allow people to choose their own gender, but ministers have put those plans on hold after a backlash from female voters. Who wins on the progressive scale? See, that's the funniest thing. There's a such thing as the oppression Olympics. Who is the most oppressed? Who is the most hurt? Who needs the most protection? Apparently, they're perfectly fine saying, oh, you can choose your own gender. We're going to make a law for it. But when women complain, they're like, oh no, the women they're oppressed. Even though they're more than half the population, even though they have half the jobs, even though they have equal rights, women are oppressed. So we won't do the law. But Lord forbid they listen to men. There's so much hypocrisy in the world. Many female academics say they have faced harassment from students and activists for questioning trans-inclusive policies, and several high-profile female speakers, including Germaine Greer and Dame Jenny Murray, have been no platform from university debates for their refusal to accept anyone who says that they are a woman must be accepted as female. So women are being deplatformed, no platformed, they're not letting them speak, and yeah, they face harassment from students and activists who are brainwashed. Their brains don't work so well. But the union's position on race last night was mocked as the latest nonsensical demonstration of woke thinking imported from US campuses. Yeah, so cultural Marxism, which is basically, it's a long story. Cultural Marxism comes from the Soviet Union. And back in the day, they sent propagandists in the form of celebrities and academic professors to brainwash the minds of young Americans with socialism, with leftism, and with regressive woke thinking just like this. They were more successful than they ever thought they would be. And all of this is the infection of cultural Marxism that has existed since then. So the self-identification of race has proved highly controversial in the US in 2015. Rachel Dolezal resigned as an official with the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People after her white parents disputed her claim to be black. The British comedian Sacha Baron Cohen also came under fire in the US over his character Ali G, a white man from Staines who asks critics, is it because I is black? In Britain, the actor Anthony Lennon, born in London to Irish parents, faced criticisms last year when it emerged he had won funding from the Arts Council scheme to help ethnic minority actors develop their stage careers because he identifies as born-again African. See, now this is trolling to the highest level, and I think more people should do it. Because the only way to expose this clown world, the only way to expose how insane this kind of thinking is, that you can just pick your identity, is simple. Troll them. Use their own logic against them. If you can identify as black and win scholarships, do so. Because according to them, you can pick your identity. Therefore, you're forcing them to play by their own rules. What are they going to say? No? Are they going to tell you no? How dare they deny your identity? How dare them? Leftism says you must accept what people tell you their identity is. So if you say that you're a strong, black African male, then they have no choice but to believe you. The UCU is led by Joe Grady, a lecturer at Sheffield University Management School. A union spokesperson confirmed that the UCU considers it up to individuals to choose if they wish to be recognized as black. The Truth Hurts a Lot says, liberalism on full display. Ignore the facts. Do what you feel and hell with the consequences. Ridiculous. Bridchoinaman says, if this is true, then we can dress up as who we want to be. Identify as Superman. Oh no, not this again says, we laugh at this, but it is deeply sinister. You can be accused of a hate crime for stating fact, and that will be recorded against you, even though no crime occurred. If you need a clean record for a job, up comes hate crime. All it takes is someone to make a report. This is unlawful, but the police are doing it anyway. This is what happens when you're a leftist. This is what happens when you choose leftism. I can't stress this enough. Leftists are not your friends. And if you are a leftist, leftism is not your friend. Look at the world around you. Look at what leftism has perpetuated. Do you really think calling yourself a liberal is worth it? What is so liberal about liberal policies that cannot be found on the right-wing libertarian spectrum? What exactly can't you find? Freedom of speech? Check. Personal property rights? check. Small government? Probably not, because liberals believe in a big government, but small government's better. I mean, I could go on and on here. Why are you so addicted to the label? Why does it matter so much to you and your identity? Maybe you've been brainwashed. Do you ever stop to consider that maybe you cling to the liberal label so hard because you believe the lie that liberalism is the future? Liberalism is only good people are liberals. Who decided that? Why do you believe it? Take a deep look inside of you and question where you come from and why you believe what you believe. That's the only way to figure out if you've been subverted, if maybe you're being illogical. Maybe you are being logical. I don't know. That's up for you to decide. I'm just saying, think about it. So getting there says, I want to choose my own age. Some days, I want to be 75 and get a free TV license. And sometimes I want to be 25 so I can go clubbing. Sometimes I want to be exactly the age the day after I retired. Best feeling in the world. Hope we can do this soon. You know, I think that pretty much says it all. According to the UCU, the University and College Union, you can identify as whatever you want to. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Do you believe that you can choose to identify as black? Be sure to let me know. And as you can probably hear, there go the boomers again. If you want to support the content that I make, you can do so by joining me on Patreon or Subscribestar for as low as $1. Doing so will give you access to Fight Club, a private Discord server. And sharing the video also helps the channel grow. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.